am having, Mac.
There's plenty of things happening in the upcoming 2D Mario game, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So many new things that I've already talked about in a previous video, and I definitely think you should check that out, because in this video, I'm going to be going over a couple things that I personally missed, and maybe even you missed, in the latest trailer for the game. Right off the bat, this is the first 2D Mario game in the history of, well, ever that's going to have actually fully voiced dialogue. Before, we've gotten grunts before in other Mario games, which happens in basically every Mario game there is, aside from, well, the first couple, but here we actually have the flower talking to us throughout the entirety of the game. There's some people out there that may not like this, as I've seen some people on Reddit or Twitter say, like, I wish we could mute this, and maybe it won't be as bad of an issue later on when we actually play the game, but even still, I think it's really a huge milestone to know that we're gonna get dialogue here once again. I don't know if the characters themselves will be talking like Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, or anyone else who may be in this game, which we'll talk about later, but it's still really cool to see we're actually getting fully voiced lines here. Moving on, I talked about this before, but the purple coins are going to be actually really important in the game. We don't know what their overall use is going to be, but the fact that they actually have their own little spot on the screen here indicates that they actually are going to be important, at least for doing the Wonder Seeds and things like that. And also another thing I wanted to note was, I just noticed this, but there are actually these giant 10 coins that are purple, and there's 3 of them per level, as we see indicated by the top right of the screen. Now, my first thought was that they function the exact same way those giant gold coins did in other Super Mario Bros. Titles, but I just think they have more use than that. As you collect similar structured purple coins throughout the entirety of the level, I don't see why they would just find the need to actually have nothing to do with them. They definitely do something, we just don't know what that is yet. Another thing that's really worth mentioning is that this game has tons of new enemies. I feel like we only saw 3 enemies that reoccurred from previous Mario titles, and all the rest were entirely new. And this all makes sense when you realize that the game is taking place in not the Mushroom Kingdom, but an entirely new kingdom, which I think will probably be called like the Flower Kingdom or something like that. Or maybe it'll just be the Wonder Kingdom, playing off the name of the title and also just the wonder effects the game has within it with the Wonder Flowers. And while this may appear like a useless piece of information, we actually have a new Koopa in the Bowser army, the Magenta Koopa. Now, obviously, this wouldn't be as big of a deal if the Koopas all were the same but just different colors. As we know, the Koopas actually do different things depending on their color. If it's green, it'll walk off the edge. If it's red, it'll meet a stop point and then turn around. If it's purple or magenta, it will be on roller skates. Honey, wake up, because the Mario lore just got deeper. Now, I've already spent extensive time talking about the animation for this game and even the art style change in a previous video about Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and once again, go check it out, but even still, I'm not going to waste any more time talking about it here, but I am going to say this. I wonder if there are multiple versions of this flower that we see in the beginning of the trailer, or if it's also traveling along with Mario in the game, because it seems to just teleport right in front of Mario and just be wherever Mario is supposed to be before Mario can even get there. Are there different versions of him, or is it just the same one moving at a very rapid speed? I was thinking that this could be like a companion character like Cappy has been or the Lumas have been in Mario Galaxy, but I'm not really sure because, I mean, he could just be like a narrator type character where he kind of explains how to do things, but he also just seems to just communicate to the player even when it's not absolutely necessary, like just saying hi to the characters. Bottom line is, I have no idea what his role is going to be, but I am very interested to find out. Then we get to a point in the trailer where we see the Wonder Flower take a full effect on the stage, changing everything and just making things a lot more chaotic. Then we see Mario sort of stretch up and down and along with this Goomba as well, which makes me believe that there's a new power-up definitely at play here, but also wondering if the Goomba is using a power too. Now, it's not rare at all to see a member of Bowser's army use a power-up, but we've never seen, at least to my knowledge, a Goomba use anything before, outside of wearing maybe a hard hat or something, but never actually using a power-up. This could be the first time this is happening, so I think that'd be pretty interesting. Also, when I first saw this level, I instantly thought of that level in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze or Donkey Kong Country Returns, one of the two, where they actually have this all kind of silhouetted level, similar to how this is going to be, and I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. I mean, I wonder why we're not getting a new DK game, but hey, who cares, right? I mean, I do, but whatever. The Wonder Flowers obviously play a huge role in just the overall progression of the game, and I think you're supposed to beat the levels faster when you use them, as you're being timed much quicker than you usually would be. I see there's like a flag that gets kind of knocked off by all these rhinos that Mario is supposed to get on, but he might have been too slow to reach that point. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be like the end of the level, or that was supposed to grant more Wonder Seeds or what have you, but either way, there's going to be a huge element at play here that we just don't know about. And I think a lot about what we know about Super Mario Bros. Wonder is just a lot of questions and not answers. There's so much we still don't know about this game that makes me more enticed to find out, well, more. But I think these segments are supposed to always end with you getting a Wonder Seed. If you do it the right way and probably as fast as you need to, you will end up getting a Wonder Seed, which will close off the Wonder Flower portion, and then you can resume the level as usual. Or, I guess, reach the end. And I'm not sure if it's like this for all the levels, but at least for this one, there are 2 Wonder Seeds, and one I think you probably get within the contents of the level itself, and then the other one you probably get just by completing the level. As we see Mario, towards the end of the trailer here, he gets a Wonder Seed just by grabbing onto the flag at the end. The next section of this trailer begins to show off not just the mechanics of the game, but also its playable characters, which is really what I want to talk about in this video. So we're going to actually move away from the trailer here for a second and go to the back art of the game, or at least this little cover art that was posted alongside the trailer. And we see here on the top right, I believe, there's a Goomba wearing a blue Toad hat, and it's got the Toad legs. So there's a lot of things kind of running through my mind here, and I'm thinking that there's actually going to be more playable characters than what we've seen in the trailer. Blue Toad might just be a playable character, and here's why I think that. In previous Super Mario titles, most notably Super Mario 3D World, we've seen the characters disguise themselves with Goomba masks so as to avoid detection. And I think the same thing could be happening here with Super Mario Bros. Wonder, where maybe this is like a new power-up of sorts where basically you blend in with the other Goombas, but still bear the same properties of the character you're supposed to be. Another thing worth noting is that there's multiple different colors of Yoshi that are playable in this game. Why wouldn't they do the same thing with Toad? I mean, it's not like you have to create an entire new character, but I actually do kind of believe there are going to be more characters than the ones we've seen in just this trailer alone. Yes, these characters are great because we're getting Daisy and Yoshi as playable, but I don't know. I kind of feel as though we're going to see more characters we just, I guess, haven't seen yet. The one that I am most personally hoping for is DK. I mean, we saw him get the Fire Flower in the movie. I'd love to see that translate over to the games and see DK use power-ups there. Also, let's keep in mind the fact that my boy has not gotten a game in ages. At least a new one, that is. I mean, come on. We don't need more remasters or ports. I would like to see a new DK game, and if we can't get that, can DK be here, please? Next up, we get a glimpse of Bowser's airship, or his new airship, that is running on gotta be some really weird energy that we see happen to Bowser Jr. later on in the trailer. I think it's probably the same thing going on there. Again, really have no clue what's going on. I think it might be the effects of like the Wonder Flower for them, maybe. That's probably my best guess, considering this game is like really centered around that. Maybe they're using like the Wonder Flowers as some sort of strange power source for them to enhance their powers and maybe give them new abilities. I mean, after all, this is one of the few times in a Mario Bros. 2D title where Bowser's not kidnapping Peach, so maybe he's actually trying to just take all the Wonder Seeds and Wonder Flowers for himself to basically attain world domination. It's just crazy to me because no matter how you feel about Super Mario Bros. Wonder, whether you love it or hate it so far, I think you just have to acknowledge that this game is doing something completely different than all the other 2D Mario games have done before. I mean, in recent years, they just felt so basic, and they just completely flipped the script with this one by making everything so different, and I love every bit of it. Speaking of loving things, you know what else I love about this game? I mean, it uses the map of 3D World, the whole map structure where you have the second player kind of run behind you, and it's kind of like an open setting-ish kind of thing, but they have the 2D levels of, well, the 2D Mario games. Isn't that interesting how, like, the map has completely changed from, like, this point A, point B kind of structure to this wide area in which you can kind of roam around and maybe even select different Toad houses and whatnot. I don't remember if I said this in my original video either, but I think it's important to note that this game has no collision, it seems, except for characters like Yoshi, where Mario can actually just jump and ride on him, which I don't know. I think that could be a little bit of an issue later on, like when you're actually playing. I'm not sure if you have to land directly on Yoshi or just in the vicinity of him, which could be pretty difficult because I might be trying to jump over him or jump around him, but accidentally land on him, which could cause a bunch of different problems. But either way, I'm loving how I don't have to keep constantly jumping on the other person's head in order to get by. I'm looking at you, New Super Mario Bros. Way. This game is chock full of mechanics too. If you thought the Wonder Flower was a lot, they even have like their hats can be used as like gliding mechanics now, or I guess air maneuvering, which is just like, whoa, what are we doing here? I wonder if it's gonna be like a thing where you can use like at any point, or maybe you have to reach like a certain point of the level in order to do it or something like that. I'm not sure, but man, it just seems like they brought out all of the tricks and just threw them at the wall in this game, and everything stuck, which is so crazy to me. As far as story information goes, I didn't talk too much about it in my previous video. I did spend quite a bit of time talking about it though, just because like I'm interested in that kind of thing. So naturally that would carry over in this video, because it's a different thing I kind of noticed here, where at the end of the trailer or towards the end, all of the characters reach the top of the flag and like this house kind of spins into existence as the particles just kind of reassemble itself to reconfigure a house. I wonder if that has anything to do with the story of the game. It most definitely does, but I guess once again the question is, we don't know what that is, so what is it? And also, who is this caterpillar character that's right next to Mario at the end of the trailer? We don't see him at all at any point through the rest of the trailer except at this very moment, and also it's on the cover art of the game where it's next to Luigi. So obviously this character is going to be somewhat important, but who is this? Speaking of the cover art of the game again, there's a purple question block on there, which I'm not sure, once again, what that is supposed to do, but if I were to take a guess, it probably produces the purple coins that we see throughout the trailer. I don't know for sure, but that's just my best guess, considering it's the only other purple thing that I can think of. Lastly, let's talk about Elephant Mario. Now, actually, it's been confirmed on the Japanese website for the Super Mario Bros. Wonder game that the elephant power-up will actually be exclusive to Mario. Now, I know that they're not going to make a exclusive power-up for just one character. I mean, they did before with Toadette, but even still, I don't see them doing that again. I just, for some reason, can't see it. I think all of the characters in the game will probably have their own version of exclusive power-ups, although we just don't know what those are yet. Again, this game, or at least the trailer, is giving a lot more questions than answers as to what's going on here. But anyway, that was just a couple of things you might have missed within the contents of Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the trailer, the cover art, and the website, and I guess everything else we've seen thus far. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel. It goes a super long way, and also turning the post notifications bell on is really important because you guys do not want to miss what I have to say. Anyway, with all that said and done, thank you all again so much for watching. This is Sonic signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?